So the fashion industry isn't exactly known for being like, you know, heavenly and nice and being an innocent industry. In fact, it's quite the opposite. And even the brand we're talking about today has been called out very recently for more of a, like, dark stuff they've been doing. Not just recently, in the past also. But would the huge fashion brand that is Balenciaga take the body of a missing person and turn it into a mannequin and put it on display in Paris in a shop window for everyone to see? We're gonna talk about this crazy story today because this is one of the insanest stories I've ever heard. Let me just ask you though, if you know everything about this story, I'm gonna ask you to hold off commenting any real facts or anything about it until, I don't know, just don't, because I want people to hear out the story and you know, hear it for the first time, because it is crazy. Don't ruin it for everyone. Okay, before we get into this, please do consider subscribing if you're here from my makeup channel. This is a separate reaction channel where I do reaction videos. Just realized my hair's wet and I haven't dried it. No one cares, right? Okay, please excuse the hair in this video. It's fine. The story is more interesting than my hair. It's not about my hair. Okay, so the story goes, right? A few years back, a fashion designer named Isaiah Bass, who was incredibly popular on social media, TikTok, whatever, the other social media. He would share his designs all over these platforms and people loved them. People loved his designs. He was a very talented designer and he would always ask his followers to tag his favorite fashion brand, Balenciaga, in all his posts so they could see his designs, the outfits he puts together. He wanted his favorite fashion brand to see his ability to design and put outfits together. Maybe one day, perhaps Balenciaga would see them and invite him to be part of their brand, create for them. You know, we all have dreams, and sometimes it just means reaching out to brands. And his audience did exactly that. They would always tag Balenciaga in all his content, so much so that it was almost impossible for Balenciaga to not have seen some of his content. Listen, imagine Isaiah's disappointment when he wakes up one day and finds that his favorite brand, Balenciaga, have quite literally taken one of his exact designs for a jacket, for a coat, I think it was a coat, copied it straight up and made it. No credit to him, no mention of him, nothing. Not even a follow, not even a like on one of his posts. This, of course, makes him angry, as it would if anyone takes something you've worked so hard on, especially when it comes to that imbalance of Balenciaga being this huge, massive brand that millions and millions and millions, billions even, of people know about, and then him, a smaller designer that a couple of 100,000 know about. There's no contest, you know? How is he gonna reach out to them and be like, oh, please, you copied my design? He can't win. So it really angers him, as it would. He goes on his social media platforms, blasts Balenciaga, tagging him for copying his designs. You're taking from a smaller designer, you're taking this exact copy and making it your own. Rightly so. I think I would do the same, to be fair. Not expecting anything. He didn't expect anything from this. He just wanted people to know what this brand have done. So then Balenciaga actually do reach out to him. They apologize. They're like, we're really sorry. I don't know if they admitted to stealing this design. Perhaps there was some similarities, you know, but they invite him to be part of a brand. They invite him to walk runway shows with them. And they say to him, come and visit our Balenciaga store in Paris. We can think about maybe having some of your designs in this store. I believe it may have been a flagship store. Free trip to Paris with one of your favorite designers who you've walked runway shows with now. Great opportunity. Who would say no? You know, it's his dream almost about to come true. So he does that. Isaiah goes to Paris, to the Balenciaga store, and he never comes back. That's the last place he was seen before he went missing. His whole family looking for him, posting all over Facebook, missing Isaiah Bass. Please help us find him. Last seen this Balenciaga store in Paris, right? No word from Balenciaga, nothing. But it turns out he would be found. Perhaps in a way that you weren't expecting, or maybe considering the title of this video, right? So one evening, Barbara Campbell is walking around the streets of Paris with her husband. I believe they're gonna look for like a little bit of late night dessert. It's around 11 p.m. The stores are shut. They're walking around what she describes as the kind of fashion district, which I would have just assumed is like all of Paris. But they're walking around and they see this couple at a store window. The couple are kind of teasing each other. Like the guy's grabbing the girl, pulling her towards the window. She's like screaming but laughing and trying to not look in the window. And they're like trying to scare each other by trying to get each other to look into this window. Obviously, Barbara and her husband are like, what is going on? And they see that this store is the Balenciaga store. So they see the other couple like kind of walk and run away. So they walk up to the window. The husband goes a little bit ahead and he's like, oh, so this is how they're doing it now. And Barbara's like, how are they doing what? And he's like, oh, with live models in the windows. This is how they're modeling their clothes now, having real people sit in the windows. And Barbara's like, what? What are you talking about? She walks up to the huge windows of this Balenciaga store. In the window is one mannequin, the most realistic mannequin she's ever seen in her life. The skin looks real. Knuckles look real. She said the hair looks like it's growing out. And she says the eyes were so real, I was expecting him to look at me, to blink. She said the hands look like they're going to move at any second. This mannequin was so real. It couldn't be a mannequin. It had to be a real person. This is her experience. Watch this.
Okay, people, tell me something. So this is a store in Paris.
That's good.
This is a man's store in Paris. And this is a mannequin that they say that they made this shit and put this in the store. This boy look like somebody dead and bombed. Look at his hand. Wait, I'm doing it through the hole. Look at the boy hands. Look, the hands. His hands is as real as mine.
Serious.
This is friggin' serious, I swear. If anybody have this guy missing, if anybody have this guy missing, please. This is crazy. I've never seen anybody look so friggin' real. How if I have this man in the store sit down? Look at that shit. You see? This is friggin' crazy. Look in the guy eye. And them said they made this mannequin and put clothes on him and have him sit down in the window. Look at the guy friggin' face. This look like the friggin' guy who was in the school basketball court inside the school where them kill and take out him kidney. I swear to God. No, guys, he's in Paris. If you know anyone that missing a black son look like this, he's in Paris at the store in the window.
So obviously they're kind of laughing about it. They're like, that is really, really creepy. She posts it on her Facebook, not really expecting anything. Like, you know, look at this creepy mannequin. The next day she wakes up to that video gone completely viral and still gaining hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views and messages saying, you have to go back and look at that mannequin. That mannequin is not a mannequin. There's a reason it looks so real. That mannequin looks exactly like a guy who has gone missing, Isaiah Bass, who was last seen at this store. That's him, that's the missing fashion designer. So Barbara does go back the next day to take a closer look. However, she's told by security and staff, please don't touch it, please don't look so closely at it, you know, leave it alone. Rumors start to spread, because it's weird, this mannequin looks like Isaiah, right? Exactly like him. And he just happened to go missing, and the last place he went to just happened to be this Balenciaga store. Rumors start to spread everywhere that this was not a mannequin. This was him. This was his body, covered in wax or made into a mannequin somehow, displayed in a window. Balenciaga made no comments about this. Even Isaiah's family did not make any comment about this. Okay, so that was the story. This story is so sketchy in many different ways. Not sketchy, it's like, oh my God, what have Balenciaga done? But sketchy to a point where I had to write that story from about 20 videos I watched of everybody's interpretation of the story. It's like an urban legend, right? So there were interviews with Barbara, who took the video, that's true. Her experience is what she experienced, because it's nothing crazy, you know? But all the rest, the lines have kind of got crossed along the way of two different people. This is the story or stories that might not even be true themselves of two different people. Let me explain. Let's talk about why Balenciaga do this first, because that mannequin does exist. One person who was actually made into a realistic mannequin is Alice Douglas, and she was a muse for a brand for quite a while. They did a whole runway show where they took her face and then like deep faked it onto all the models. If you're not familiar with what a deep fake is where someone can take a video, for example, let's say me doing this, and then they might take a celebrity's face, stick it on my face, be like, oh my god, it's actually them because it looks so real. So that's what deep faking is. They did this with a whole show, so Alice became this model, right? Balenciaga, from looking at their past stuff, love to do highly controversial, uncanny valley-like things like this, make you feel really uneasy. So it's not weird that this, you know, Alice, she also became a life-like mannequin, along with some other models that were used in their runway shows and put in all different stores around the world. These mannequins are made from a 3D scan, and then they're made out of fiberglass. You can actually see the mannequins stop about here in terms of their skin, and then it's just fiberglass, and then the hands, the heads, the hair look real. So there's nothing strange or suspicious about these mannequins in any way. They're not dead people. That, you know, so we've addressed, you know, mannequins are creepy. Yeah, they are creepy, but they're not out the blue for the brand, right? So here's where the wires get crossed. This is model Christopher G. This is designer and I believe musician Isaiah Bass. They are two different people. They don't even look alike. I don't even know how the story got so mixed up. People were all over the internet saying Isaiah Bass went missing, who was also modeled for Balenciaga and got turned into a mannequin. So Christopher G, who is or was a professional model, has indeed done like runway shows for Balenciaga. That's his thing. He's a model. He's done editorial with him as well, and he was made into this lifelike mannequin along with other models featured in Balenciaga editorials. You can't find anything online about him because when you search for him, all that comes up is this mannequin conspiracy theory and people's TikToks and people's videos that are like, Isaiah Bass model went missing. Again, his name isn't Isaiah Bass. He doesn't seem to have representation in terms of modeling anymore, but I do feel like perhaps this whole thing maybe ruined his career a little bit. I would see it from that, but he has gone on social media and said himself, I'm fine, I'm alive, nothing happened, I'm not a mannequin, it's all good, you know? So we can close that case. Christopher G is not a designer, he is a model. He never visited that store and went missing. Maybe he visited a store, but he never went missing. Isaiah Bass, who I actually also can't find anything online because when you look up his name, same situation, right? He didn't have beef with Balenciaga. He didn't walk a Balenciaga show. Balenciaga didn't steal his coat design from him, I believe, from what I've found. He has even made a post on Facebook that he has no ties with Balenciaga whatsoever. He's like, can everyone please stop spreading like this conspiracy theory, all this fake stuff, all these fake missing pictures of him because he never went missing. Please stop, because it's like, it's too much. None of this ever happened. He was never affiliated with Balenciaga. Never went to that store, never went missing. It's crazy how two people's completely different stories, where none of them even went missing. God, I don't know where this originated, but it is confusing. It is so confusing. So if you know any more facts, do please let me know, because I couldn't find anything. But of course, there are conspiracy theorists out there who are still like, no, these people aren't them. These are clones of them pretending to be them. What aren't they telling us? You know, all this kind of stuff. And listen, conspiracy theorists, do I believe that there are some higher ups in the fashion industry that probably get together once a week to eat a goat or a child to get success? Yeah, I do. Maybe not that deep. Maybe they just bribe some people, I don't know. But not in this case. I don't think there's any conspiracy in this case. Video of them making these mannequins. I'm so sorry. As much as we want things to be creepy, this one really isn't. I thought this was so interesting. I thought it was such a good conspiracy theory and a showing of how lines can get crossed super easily. But yes, let me know down below. Let me know your favorite conspiracy theory down below. I would love to know. Consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.